Welcome to this episode of Sales Secrets, where the world's best sales experts share their secrets to sales success. And I'm thrilled to have with me none other than Mr. Shark Tank himself, Kevin Harrington. Kevin.
Hey, all right, Brandon. Great to be here, man.
Yeah, man, we're thrilled to have you.
We got some excitement starting right now. Let's do it.
It's go time. It's go time. And for those of you who don't know who Kevin is an original shark on the hit TV show Shark Tank. He got started as a young entrepreneur in the early 80s when he invested $25K. He launched Quantum International, turned it into $500 million in sales, took it on the New York Stock Exchange, took the stock price to $20 per share. Then after selling his interest in Quantum, launched HSN Direct, which grew to hundreds of millions of dollars. He also launched over 20, not one, not five, but over 20 companies to do over $100 million in sales and over 500 products that generated over $5 billion in sales. Kevin, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, and I hope we're going to talk about sales. Let's do something fun, huh?
Yes, and by the way, congrats on your new book, Mentor to Millions. This is amazing. What can the audience learn from this book?
Well, appreciate you talking about it. We hit number 2 on the Wall Street Journal bestseller list, which is very proud of that. That's based on sales, Wall Street Journal, and so it's about mentoring. Like I've had many mentors in my life, and if we get a chance today, I can talk about some of that. But how to find a mentor, how to utilize mentors to the fullest, and be the mentor's best student. This is important because many people get a mentor, but they don't handle that relationship the right way. So all these kinds of things, but basically how to use mentors to exponentially grow your business. That's what the Millions is all about. How to use mentors to create millions of dollars in success for you.
That's absolutely amazing. Well, Kevin, we've got a lot to cover. You've accomplished and sold a lot of products. You may be, out of the 100 plus experts interviewed, you may have sold the most amount of products here yet. So I want to just dive in because I know we've got a hard stop. Where did you start out in your sales career? And we want to hear all the secrets that you learned from starting your own company with $25K to taking it public, knocking on doors, building HSN Direct, and selling more products on video, all of these things. So take us from the beginning.
I'm going to walk you through a couple of examples. When I was 15 years old, my dad, he was a bartender who had opened up his own bar called Harrington's Irish Pub. And I started working there, but he was paying me $1 an hour, because this will date me now, but this was back in the 60s, okay? So I was in my teens in the 60s back in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Hey!
Okay? Yeah, working in a restaurant. But he said, you need to own your own business. So I started a driveway sealing business. And I thought, okay, I'm going to beautify the driveways. Also, if you have a crack in your driveway in asphalt in Ohio, when it gets cold in the winter, the water gets in there, freezes, triples the size of that crack. So there I am knocking on doors. Door slam, door slam, door slam. My first day, 20 people, get away. I'm eating dinner. Why are you bothering me? Okay. And I was so like, what am I going to do? I'm not selling anything. So I finally figured out this is what I need to do. I went into the neighborhood again, but this time I did one driveway for virtually free to get credibility, because I was a 15-year-old kid trying to get money from people to do something on their house and their property, and there was no credibility. Once I got the first driveway done, and I used it as an example for the neighborhood, and I told the people, forget $100. My material cost is $10. Covered at $10. I'll do your driveway, but I want to put a sign across it, and I want to have before and after pictures of what it looks like, this magical transformation. Wow. So this was the first time I learned how to use those two things, magical, before and afters, and magical transformations. And so I went down the same neighborhood where 20 people plus had told me no, and I ended up getting 18 jobs after I did the one. So this was important. This was powerful. And then from there, we had credibility everywhere because we had dozens, then hundreds of jobs done. So that was driveway sealing. Now, I
So
went to
what would you
college.
do with that social proof? So basically that was like your first approach at like social proof, transformation results, current state, future state. So would you like take pictures and go door to door and show this
Oh
stuff?
yeah. I had a before and after picture of the driveway across the street. And they were like, yeah, that's an amazing job. And that's your sign across their driveway. Yes, that's the driveway I did. And it was, I'll never forget, people would say, oh, they're too busy, they're eating dinner. I'd say, that's fine. Those cracks that are out there when that water freezes this summer and it triples the size of the cracks. If you want to call me then, I'll be happy to come back. And they're like, well, wait a minute. Can we talk right now? Now that you're telling me about those cracks, I want to hear about this. So this is step one. Let me walk to the next one. There's a lot of stuff to share. Now I'm going to college, and my dad said, well, you got to pay your own college. I'm one of 6 kids, right? A bartender's, bar business is not going to cover college education for 6. So here I am. I'm starting a heating and cooling air conditioning company.
And was this in Ohio, or did you move to go to
Ohio?
college?
Still, yeah. I'm installing furnaces in the winter, air conditioning.
It's totally shit in Ohio for anyone that's tuning in. It's freezing in Ohio.
Yeah. So now I started this business from dead zero, scratch. Didn't even have a name of a company in 1975, the year I graduated from high school, going into my freshman year of college. And what did I do to get business? I got all the new homeowner transactions, the names and addresses and phone numbers of everyone that just bought a new house. It was a public record. It's a real estate transaction. What did we do? I called them, said, congratulations, I've got a free gift for you. It's a free furnace cleaning. Don't turn that furnace on because we're going to check it for you, safety check, and we'll clean it. We were getting 20 new customers a week. And this is, again, back in 1975. So we built that business. In those days, it was $1 million plus in sales. But if you adjust for inflation, it's over $5 million in business that I started as a freshman in college. So, but again, tying into the courthouse, outbound telemarketing, this was very, very powerful. Now, then I sold the heating and air business. I started, one day I'm watching my cable TV because I bought a house and I was making money. And I'm watching Discovery Channel. It was on channel 30 on a 30 channel cable package. And all of a sudden it went dark. And I called the cable company. I said, I'm not getting channel 30 anymore. There's some kind of a technical problem or what's up? They said, oh no, Discovery, it's a brand new channel. It's the last channel, channel 30. And it's only an 18-hour-a-day channel. 6 hours will be dead airspace. And I said, what do you mean dead airspace? They said, we mean nothing will air for 6 hours a day. And that's when I said, let me fill those airwaves. And I went down, met with Discovery, and I started giving them products, kitchen products, houseware products, fitness products. We started with, we did the original, we did the Ginsu knives, we did the Food Saver, we did Tony Little Fitness, we did Jack LaLanne and the Juicer, George Foreman, Billy Mays, all these things. But I'm going to tell you something that we learned early on, and this came from my buddy, Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar was an amazing sales guy, right? I mean,
and his family did your forward in your book, right?
Yes, exactly. Tom Ziglar did the forward. So we were having issues because we're selling a Ginsu knife set. It's only $29.95 for a few knives, but people weren't ordering in the beginning. I mean, we were getting some orders, but so Zig said, "Hey, look, if the value of your offer is here and the price is here, you're not going to make the sale. You've got to create value stacks to increase the value so that once the value is more than the price, now you can make the sale." So this is where this went. We said, okay, you're going to get 2 Ginsu knives for $29.95. And we've got value here, price here. But wait, there's more. 2 free steak knives, 2 free bread knife, a paring knife. Creating value stacks gave more value than people ordered like crazy. So the value stack proposition was from Zig Ziglar. And this crushed it. I mean, who hasn't heard the statement, but wait, there's more. And when you find out it was somebody like Zig Ziglar that actually had something to do with that, that is pretty powerful.
So this stack, and a stack is just, you get this, you get this, you get, wait, there's more, you get this. So you and Zig Ziglar basically invented the stack.
Yeah, the value Zig invented it. I used it in infomercials. Wow. Now, I wish I was the inventor. Zig, whether he invented it or it was part of his teaching methods.
Wow. And when it came, did you just reach out to these product owners and say, look, I'm going to market and sell it? And like, how'd you get the products to then sell on TV?
Yeah. So I started in the early 80s and we started getting some success. Then I started going to dozens and dozens of trade shows, and I would take a little booth out. I'm like, hey, I owned As Seen on TV Inc., AsSeenOnTV.com. I was the As Seen on TV guy. So I put a booth there, As Seen on TV. People would come. We went to the houseware show, the hardware show, the fitness shows, the beauty shows, the PGA golf show. I'm sitting at the PGA golf show, and I'm there. Davis Love, the golfer, he says, hey, I've got something for you to take a look at. I said, what is it? He's swinging this club. And I'm like, oh, it looks great. Well, what's so cool about it? He says, here, you swing this club. And I went to swing the club, and the hinge on it flopped, and I couldn't complete the swing. I don't know if you're familiar with this product, but it's called the Medicus Golf Club. We did $250 million it was the first ever golf infomercial. I met Davis at the PGA Golf Show in Orlando, Florida, and we did many more golf shows. I did the first fishing infomercial, the first golf infomercial, first fitness infomercial with Tony Little, et cetera, et cetera. But every single one of them had amazing sales techniques. And I've got another one that I'm going to share, but I don't want to stop you if you've got some questions.
No, this is perfect. I mean, the audience is dying to understand. We're getting questions flooded in. Like, what are the secrets to creating an amazing infomercial that sells millions to billions of dollars versus one? You see all these people now on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram trying to do these VSLs, video sales letters,
right?
Which are like infomercials, and they don't sell anything. What is the secret formula to doing a multi-million or 8-9-figure business?
I'm going to give it to you right here. It's a 10-step formula. I don't have time. I could take an hour to do that, but I've consolidated that into 3 steps.
Okay.
Let me share that with you, because an infomercial, it first of all, remember this: people do not tune in to commercials. Okay. I mean, have you ever looked for your TV guide and said, let me tune into a paid advertisement? No, you don't. So when an infomercial airs right after the movie, right after a TV show, the first thing you have to do is get their attention with some kind of a stated problem that the mass market is going to understand. So you start your pitch with an attention-getting problem. That's always step one. And I've done over 700 infomercials.
Wow.
There isn't one of them that didn't start in the first 10 seconds with something very powerful, getting their attention. And it didn't have to be anything even affiliated with the product. And for example, when we did Ginsu knives, we had this huge fish that was about this thick and about this big. And we've got the fish on the table, and then we pick it up, and we have a karate guy try to do a kick through the fish. And we say, you wouldn't try to cut the fish with your foot like this, would you? And people are like, what the heck is he doing? What is this? Right. What you're doing is you're paying attention to find out introducing the Ginsu right through the fish in like a hot knife through butter. Now you're pleasing. So you start by teasing, then you move to the pleasing. When you're pleasing, you're now selling the benefits. You're doing the demonstrations, you're doing magical transformations, testimonials, etc. So this is phase 2. Phase 1, get their attention with a problem. Phase 2, solve the problem, use powerful demonstrations, benefits, and magical transformations. Step 3, you got to seize them. And this is create an irresistible offer. Tease them, please them, and seize them. Those are the 3 steps. Without a powerful offer, but wait, there's more, some extra bonuses and things like that. It's important that you make it, that you follow those steps. I've used those steps in all my shows, and those steps have created over $5 billion in sales for me.
Wow. That's absolutely amazing. You heard the 3 secrets, everyone. And right after this commercial break, we're going to be going into his top secrets to building multiple $100 million companies. And then his number 1 sales secret. If Kevin had to go back in time to his 20-year-old self, what would his secret be? Nick, you can hit it real quick, and then we're going to take a break and come back.
This show is sponsored by Seamless.AI. Seamless.AI delivers the world's best sales leads. Find emails and cell phones for any professional in the world within seconds. Get Seamless.AI for free at www.seamless.ai. That's www.seamless.ai.
All right, Kevin, I know we're tight on time. So you built how many companies over $100 million in sales? 20?
About 22 now, yeah.
22 companies over $100 million in sales. What's the secret? You know, like this book is all about the secrets. What's the secret?
Well, first of all, I think being fearless is one of the things that I pride myself on. And I'm going to give you an example because, I mean, once I got my infomercials, I had a library of over 100 infomercials in the United States that had all done massively successful sales. So, you know, most people would be pretty happy with that. But I said, wait a minute, I've invested in these. I built tooling and shot infomercials. Where else can I use these infomercials? What other industries can I go to learn what to do? The movie industry. I studied it. I found out, hey, when Rambo came out in the US, they dubbed it into 100 languages and it went into 150 countries. But where do they go to sell Rambo? They go to the Cannes Film Festival. So in 1989, I went to the Cannes Film Festival and took out a booth and I had all my infomercials running. And I started meeting all these international television players. And so one of them was in Saudi Arabia, Sheikh Salah Kamel owned Arab radio television, 5 channels, 24 hours a day, but they all went dark at midnight and came back on at 6 a.m. So I had to go in and sell the Sheikh on doing business with me. And so let me tell you how I did it, because I didn't come in with a hardcore sale. This is what I did. I did a little research, and there was another company like the Sheikhs in the Middle East. And so when I went in, I said to the Sheikh before I even sat down in the chair, I said, look, and I flew all the way to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia from St. Pete, Florida. I walked into his office and I said, Mr. Sheikh Salah Kamel, before I sit down, I do want to disclose one thing. I'm talking to one of your competitors, and you know them, the company called Orbit. And I want full disclosure, because at the end of this, I don't want me to mention it. And you said, well, I wish you'd have told me this up front. He said, so you're talking to them about doing the same thing with them as you are with me? He said, let me tell you why you don't want to do business with them. And he went on a 40-minute pitch, brought in his son and his accountants and his this and his that. What was he doing? He was selling me to do business with him. I turned it around from me selling to me qualifying. And so fear of loss, I think you've heard of, right?
Yeah.
And so fear of missing out, of FOMO.
FOMO, yeah.
He wrote a $25 million check before I left that country, and we built that into a huge business, and it is unbelievable. So I could keep going with techniques, but that's what you do in your book, and I love it. And I'm just really excited to be able to share some of my top.
This is amazing.
And here today, fun ones.
No, I love that. There's so much to learn. And, if you had to go back in time, Kevin, you've been incredibly successful. If you could rewind, which all of us would pay probably a pretty penny for, to your 20-something self, what would be the number 1 sales secret you wish you knew back then to maximize your sales success?
Okay. So I think, you put me on the spot here. Okay. But I'm going to give you my best answer. I think one of the things because I was a young entrepreneur, I was 15 knocking on doors, and I was 18 calling on air conditioning sales and services. And you end up getting a little confident and cocky, and you believe you could do anything, right? Well, hey, that's good to have confidence in yourself, but it became a detriment because at the time, as I was building my business, I wasn't willing to bring the right people around me, because I thought, I don't need other people. I'm the machine. I can make it happen. But I found out pretty quickly that you can't do it all yourself, right? And so, yes, I was good at sales, but what about the installation and the customer service and the operations and the finance? And again, I was building businesses. I didn't know how to raise capital. So once I learned, and this was the greatest sales job ever, and this is, how do you sell investors to give you money to back your business? And that is what I've learned how to do. And that's what I can teach people, because you can have the greatest idea, the greatest product. If you don't have money, you can't buy media, you can't build funnels, you can't manufacture inventory, and someone else is going to beat you to the punch. So the greatest sale that you can make is to an investor to back your idea. You keep control of the company, and you end up paying him back a big return on his investment. And there's a 10-step formula I have for getting investors on board. We'll do that on another time, but that becomes, you're now duplicating yourself. This is how I created $20, $100 million businesses. Wow. I used other people's money in the beginning. Now I use my own money to do it, and life is good. So you got to learn how to sell people to back you and put up money if you got a great idea. When you learn how to do that, you can just keep launching product after business after business and pay back the return on the investment, and people are going to love you.
Ah, that's amazing. Kevin, I wish I connected with you before I pitched 347 VCs and investors to grow our company, man. I wanted to follow your 10-step process. Okay, so this is amazing. And people tuning in, let us know your questions below. We're going to go through some rapid fire questions, Kevin, because I know we've got just a few minutes left. And just let us know what comes to the top of the mind. So number one, what is your favorite habit?
Oh, favorite habit. Wow. My favorite habit. Wow. You're throwing me off already here. I would say waking up and feeling alert and excited and confident about the day ahead. I have just a great feeling every morning when I get up that today is going to be a great day.
And this next question from the audience, how do you stay motivated? Because I think everyone sees you happy, excited, energized. Like, where's that coming from?
I mean, look, I'll do 15 of these kind of interactions, today. It's meeting people that have great ideas, great followers, great products, great businesses. It's so exciting for me because I also love to learn along the way. And look, Brandon, you and I, who knows where this will lead, but there's great opportunity for us to do some business.
$1 billion company. Let's do $1 billion, Kevin.
Let's do $1 billion. I got to get a copy of your book, by the way.
100%. You're going to be in the book. You got to get a copy. I know. And then what do you do when you get stuck? How do you get unstuck?
I get unstuck by calling a mentor. And that gets back to my original book, The Mentor to Millions. I mean, I've got mentors in all parts of my life. in the old days, I didn't have to pay mentors, but now to get the right mentor, sometimes you have to pay a little something. I mean, I've had Zig Ziglar and I've had Richard Branson. I didn't pay those guys. They didn't need it. But other times you sometimes have to get the right guy, might have to give a little piece. But yeah, I think the bottom line is mentoring is the key to success for many young entrepreneurs.
Awesome. And then last question, we're going to open it up to the audience. What was that? Emily, what advice would you give someone just starting their career in sales? Great question, Emily.
So I'm going to say this. I have a 22-year-old son right now that is just starting a sales business for this company I mentioned, RoofMax. What we do is we have a spray that rejuvenates your roof. You don't have to replace it. It gives it extra 15 years of life potentially. And my son is starting in sales. Well, I had him shadowing the top salespeople in the business for the last 30 days. Today was the first call he made on his own. And so you can't just go do it the first time. Learn. It's almost like get a mentor in sales, shadow somebody, learn how to do it, because you may take you 20 calls on your own to learn how to figure out the pitch. Go with somebody that's solid, learn it real quick. By the time you've seen 3, 4, 5, you're ready to go and you're off to the races. So Brandon, it's great to be here, buddy. I
Kevin
appreciate it.
Harrington.
We
Thank
need to
you
get
so
back
much,
together. I'll be here.
everyone. Pick up his book, Mentor to Millions. You can get this anywhere, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, everywhere where there's books. And also, anyone tuning in, thank you so much with Kevin Harrington from this episode of Sales Secrets. Kevin, where can everyone find you, follow you for more?
KevinHarrington.tv. It's my website. We got all kinds of great downloads and stuff to take a look at, freebies that you can have from there. So
awesome. We got to run, everyone. Thank you so much, Kevin. You've been a blast.
Hey,
Congrats.
good seeing you, buddy.